Hey guys, so I've been purchasing a lot of manga, and if you've been enjoying my hauls then you know I've got a lot of books, but I've been getting a lot of call out for what I'm reading. So I thought I'd share with you a few books of what I've actually got through this year so far. Like I said, my manga collections are pretty big, so it's about time I started reading some of them, right? So one of the first lot of books I dived into was Komi Can't Communicate. So I read book number 1, book number 2, and book number 3. So Komi is basically the young girl on the covers. Quite beautiful. You'd think that she'd have pretty good life, right? No. So Komi doesn't quite have it together. Whenever she is addressed by anyone, she has a complete mental break. She can't talk, she clams up, she gets nervous and shaky, and she can't communicate, like it's in the title. So whenever that happens, people kind of think that she's just being quite aloof. Because she's beautiful and gorgeous, people just think she has it together, and she doesn't. She is absolutely struggling. And it's not until she meets Tadano does her life start to change. He makes it his life mission to get her 100 friends. So with a little help and gentle prodding from Tadano, Komi starts making friends. She doesn't really talk to them still, she still freaks out, but she takes tentative steps towards phone calls and texting, which kind of just helps her start to blossom. Now the art style in these books is pretty simplistic, but it's beautiful, and it's written by Tomohito Oda. There's 3 books so far in my collection. I've got part 4 on the way, and they're just short story style. They're just small vignettes more than anything else, like a few pages and the next story begins. But I found this series to be completely charming and engaging and just fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing part 4 when it arrives. I've got part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, all on pre-order. So I'm just waiting for those to turn up. But Komi is totally engaging and I love it. It's very, very cool. So the next book I dived into was The Way of the Househusband by Kosuke Unu. Now this is a story about a guy who's essentially from the Yakuza. His history is pretty violent. He's killed a lot of people back in the day. But he kind of just leaves it all behind. He just wants to have a simple life with his wife, and he's taken real shine to cooking. As you can see, he's wearing a little apron there on the front. But his old way of life happens to just catch up with him every now and then. He comes across former members of the Yakuza who just want to challenge him because of his reputation. And then he catches up with a young guy who used to really worship him. So he tries to keep out of trouble. He's still formidable. Whenever something really bad happens, he still steps up. But he's really more interested in getting the groceries and slicing and dicing vegetables more than slicing and dicing bad guys. So the story, very cool, very engaging. The art style, pretty nice. I enjoyed it. It's an engaging story. It's pretty wholesome actually, considering it's about a guy who has a very dark, violent past. It's pretty light-hearted, a lot of comedy. It doesn't get too dark, but I'm only up to book 1 so far. Part 2 is on the way. But I just found it really engaging and funny. It's a bit of a light relief. So that one was absolutely a really engaging read. I'm looking forward to the next one. Alright, next, Jitsu Kaizen. Now this one is epic. This is a fantastic read. Basically, this guy here becomes embroiled in a supernatural academy of some sort. I don't want to be too specific, but he's on the side of good. And his role is to defeat this bad, evil demon. And there's only one way he can do it, but I'm not going to spoil it. He's the only one who can do it, and he's the only one that can defeat this demon. It was fun. The animation style, very nice, as you can see. Once again, not going too crazy. I don't want to get a copyright strike here. And it's given to us by Gigi Akutami. So this was the first book, and I can see why it was very popular. I love supernatural stuff, I love action, and this had it all. The fight scenes in this were very well drawn, and the story is very cool, and I cannot wait to see where it goes next. So this was absolutely awesome. It's very good. Enjoyed it. Okay, the next ones I got into were Beastars 1, Beastars 2, Beastars 3. You got that? 3 books in the viewfinder, just there. Beastars is an interesting one. I didn't really know going in what to expect. It's definitely no Zootopia. So this guy is the main guy, and Beastars are basically the superstars of a school that focuses on dramatic arts. So the Beastars are the bee's knees, cream of the crop. Now everyone is a beast in this universe. They're all carnivores, all herbivores, and it's just their tenuous relationship. I mean, herbivores living with carnivores in close proximity and going to school together and just living life. It's fraught with peril. And this poor guy, he's like constantly battling his inner demons. He likes cute little sexy white rabbits, but he doesn't want to eat them. He wants to play with them in a nice way. This got really creepy. There she is. Isn't she cute? So the story is good. It gets dark. Like 1 and 2, pretty light-hearted, not too deep. But part 3, we start getting some pretty dark stuff happening. It gets pretty gruesome. So essentially the main plot of the book, and I don't want to go into spoiler territory here, but essentially the very first page or so, herbivore is murdered by a carnivore. And no one knows who it is. Everyone's getting a little bit sheepish, pardon the pun, and this guy's pretty much the main suspect. He's even starting to doubt himself. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm only up to book 3, book 4's on the way, but I'm thoroughly hooked. I'm looking forward to diving into the next ones, and yeah, these are definitely worth the pick up. Great read. Next, and this is one of the earlier books that I read. I'll quickly show you all the titles, because there's a lot of them, and it's ongoing. And this one is brought to us by Enio Asano. So it is Dead, Dead Demons, Dead, Dead, Dead Destruction, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. I thought this was all of them, so when I ordered them, I thought, great, complete collection, I can just dive into that and get it out. There's more coming. 8's on the way. So it's an ongoing series. Now, to be honest, it took me a while to get into this one. I didn't really know what to expect going in. Well, I rarely do. I just kind of buy these mangas and just go, I'm going to read that. That looks cool. But I just showed the animation style there. So you got the drawing. The artwork's very nice. It's good. It grows on you. But initially I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. But I think I'm going to be a big Enio Asano fan because I ended up falling in love with his art style. So the basic premise of the book is alien invasion. A massive alien ship has landed over top of Tokyo and then nothing happened. Life continued on as normal. But there is these cute little aliens who come down and visit all the time, but the human race is under the perception that these little alien creatures need to be exterminated. Now, we kind of don't really get to know much about the alien invaders themselves up until like book 6 or book 7, but you start to wonder, are the alien invaders really that bad? And do they deserve to be exterminated? An old concept of life just going on as normal, even though there's a big spaceship hovering over your city, was really interesting to me. And the core group of characters were very engaging, a lot of fun, very eccentric, and yeah, prepare for a little bit of heartbreak. I'm not going to go into details once again, but we do suffer some loss, and yeah, it affected me quite profoundly. Now, book 7 ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and I really like where the next book could potentially be going, because it was unexpected, it was out of the blue, and I was like, ooh, more please. So that was a good read, so I thoroughly recommend you check those out. And now, last but not least, in my book reading thing that I've done, so I'm currently reading Astra Lost in Space at the moment, so I won't give my opinions on that one until I've finished it. It's only 5 books, I'm literally just halfway through book 5, and well, I'm going to get the thumbs up. I'm really loving it, it's quite good. But this series of books I just had to get because I've always been a massive fan of Astro Boy, and when I heard that they'd done a reimagining of that by Urasawa and Tezuka, who actually did the initial Astro Boy comic and the anime back in the day, I just thought, I've got to get this. So, Pluto, book 1, Pluto, book 2, book 3, aren't the covers nice? 4, 5, 6, 7, and book 8. This was a big, hefty, thick one. So, Pluto by Urasawa, I'm just terrible with names, is essentially the story of this kid, Astro Boy, but in a very different take than what you probably remember. If you grew up watching the anime as a kid, or you've read the books, and I haven't yet, I've been buying the Astro Boy omnibuses and I can't wait to dive into them. A very simplistic tale of a young boy robot who is essentially a superhero based on the son of the guy who created him, whose son died. So Astro Boy was a replacement, essentially. He was called Pluto in the Japanese version, so that's why they called it Pluto in this. So this was a very deep, dark mystery, and it wasn't quite the Astro Boy I was expecting, but it was a tour de force of storytelling and art. I mean, look, the artwork is sick, and the story was absolutely amazing. So basically, you got the world's greatest robots, and they're being killed off one by one by this big supreme robot killing machine. And it's up to Astro Boy and a few detectives to kind of solve the mystery and take the bad guy down. Now, it doesn't necessarily happen in a way that you expect. Each hero has his own book, like each robot hero has their own book, and it's their story about how they came to be, who they are, and their fate when they go up against this supreme killer robot. So, did I enjoy it? Yeah, like I said, wasn't quite what I expected, but it was very rich in its storytelling, and long after I've read it, it stayed with me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a mad read, and I cannot wait to dive into Monster and what else? Master Keaton and 20th Century Boys. So amazing. So that's what I've been reading in the last few months. So sorry it took so long to get it up to you guys, but manga has been a newfound passion of mine, and I just love diving into it. So like I said, I'm currently reading Astro Lost in Space. Once I get that done, I'll get a review up for that one as well. I'll hope to get my reviews up more frequently. Now that I've got my new camera light ring and my mic just sitting here on my camera, I can just get in here and get a review done like that. Just really quick. So hopefully I'll get more manga reviews up for you and those impressions more often. But please let me know down in the comments below what you think of your manga collection. What do you own? What are you currently reading? And what do you recommend? Because I love hearing from you guys and it's amazing. Anyway, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.